Hi, my name is Mark Walker and I'm editorial director at the FinTech Times, and we're here at Seamless North Africa. I'm going to start off by asking my interviewee to introduce himself to you, the audience.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm Mostafa MohyEldin. I'm heading the fintech product and partnerships in Banque Misr in the retail sector. Um I have a long experience in product management in different industries, in financial sector, in the banks and fintechs, and also around 10 years in telecom sector. I'm currently trying to enable the fintech space through the bank, whether with the direct products or even on indirect payment products. I'm happy to join this conversation.
Lovely, thank you. So perhaps give me a little bit of a sort of a history lesson, if you will. How would you say the FinTech ecosystem has come from some place to where it is now?
To my experience, actually, three years back, I used to work for a fintech startup in Egypt, and actually, I witnessed the learning journey across the market in fintech space. Uh, there are a lot of learnings about how the fintechs would interact with customers, backed up by the bank and the financial institutions, in the proper alignment of the regulations. To add value and address the customer needs and actually generate a real value tangible that enables the customer at the end. Because actually, the key purpose for fintechs is to penetrate, to reach out for the customers in more convenient way, with a personalized digital first and enabled experience, enabled backed by a large financial institutions like large banks or other financial players. So the journey had a lot of learnings on product perspective, the assumption or the value proposition for the targeted segments. We are going to address these underserved customers with a certain value proposition. The assumptions uh, kept evolving by the time. At first, customers were looking for very basic and fundamental payment products, moving to looking forward for a financial service like a credit facility, buy now, pay later. Now customers are looking forward for much more than the basic financial services. And the key challenge is, and this is how we are, yani, this is the key focus for now, how to enable these fintechs or this industry uh, to interact more deeply with the customers and their day-to-day interactions, their lifestyle, and know the exact moment where the customer need a specific recommendation upon their personal preferences. So this is the next level actually of enabling the fintech sector.
Yeah, and I guess traditionally banks would be the custodian of trust as well as money for the consumers, and so what role do you find the bank has to have in helping that fintech ecosystem develop and be more adopted by consumers?
In my opinion, the role of the bank right here should enable the fintechs in the spaces or the capabilities that shouldn't be. We should relieve the fintechs from investing in core solutions of payments, the core solutions or financial services, and offload them from investing heavily how to manage the financial crime, the regulation perspective, the know your customer. All these things should be enabled and be ready, kind of ready made, because we want the fintechs to focus more on the customer interaction level and the hyper personalization and the data and the AI. So combining these two worlds, having a very solid financial service provider with tech payments and financial services equipped by RegTech solutions, and combining this with modern customer interaction platforms, whether it's digital channels, physical channels, whatsoever, the customer interaction model, combining these two worlds definitely will level up this industry and the customer experience at the end.
And I think it was your one of your colleagues on the panel earlier that said financial institutions should be financial institutions and tech companies should be tech companies. How do you think about that sort of crossover between tech and finance?
I can't deny this. However, the modern practices, yeah, every industry should evolve. And in my opinion, I think this is the right evolution of the financial institutions, because let's imagine if we left the financial crime management, for example, to fintechs. How could it be possible to ask and mandate for each fintech to have their sanctions screening systems and integrations with the central banks and financial crime authorities? Building this from scratch for each and every fintech product, this is not scalable, and I think since we having this already built and we have the expertise, and also I don't expect a fintech or someone trying to manage the customer interaction, probably not a financial player like a ride hailing or even automotive. For example, let's imagine Mercedes. Mercedes want to integrate a payment use case. I don't expect Mercedes to KYC the customer and apply financial crime monitoring and do the payment solution and because at the end Mercedes interact with the customer within almost 1 hour of the customer life during the mobility from his work to whatsoever. So they manage the customer interaction at this time. So they don't have to worry about all of this ecosystem building blocks. So this where comes the role of the ecosystem there. So I would ask first, as my colleague mentioned, each financial institution has to decide on their role. I would like to participate as a financial player who finance only, or I have the appetite to play the role of the ecosystem enabler or orchestrator. And this is the question that should be the each financial institution, whether a large bank or whatsoever the form of the institution, should answer first. And once they answer this based on their capabilities and their beliefs, they shall proceed forward.
Okay, so maybe a bit more of a tricky question. Yeah. So once they've decided all that, what does the future look like? What do you think we will be talking about, and how will we be reflecting on the state of the ecosystem in 1 year's time or 5 years' time?
I imagine the future, if we evolve in such aspiration, and if the whole market took steps forward towards that aspiration, I would expect that daily financial interactions would be super seamless, like any other industry. If you are watching your Netflix at the evening before going to bed, Netflix knows exactly what to recommend and why, and whether you are going to like this or not. That level of personalization, I think the payment, or not only the payment, the financial industry would evolve toward that smart interactions that at the end it requires a less customer effort to get the value that they need that fits their need. As simple as this. This is the
that's the ultimate.
Yeah,
hopefully,
this is the optimum
when we
goal.
sit here next year, that's what we'll be.
Yeah, easiness, the convenience, how convenient financial needs are being fulfilled.
Yeah. And final question, other than your amazing panels, which I know you've been very busy on lots of panels today, have you seen or heard anything today that made you really interested or impressed? Any trend or technology that you thought, wow, that's something interesting?
Yeah, actually, there are a lot of remarkable initiatives around, whether from financial large players, fintechs and startups around the space right here. Also, ecosystem enablers. I heard about some solutions, fintechs who are trying to modernize the experience of the payments when it comes to payroll and staffing, with a very clever experience without heavy integration and reinventing the wheel. Their target, and this is the really impressive thing, is they are reintroducing the payroll in a very convenient way, with the claim of every day is your payday. So it's really remarkable for me. Aside how they are going to make it happen, but the claim of the customer convenience is really remarkable.
That's good because I interviewed them earlier, so I know everything about. I know that one. That's very interesting. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here at Seamless TV, powered by the FinTech Times.
Happy to participate. Thank you, Mark.